Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Five of Cups, which has to do with disappointment. And we'll see, how does that tie into these tea leaves? And if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. And it is free to subscribe. I apologize. I'm sure my voice sounds just ridiculous right now. I can't hear out of my right ear. It's all clogged up. Okay, wow. We kind of have a really interesting formation here. We have the eyes, the nose, kind of a collar, I would say. And almost kind of reminds me of a Medusa head or a gorgon. The hair of snakes, serpents, right? And so I look at this and Medusa for me. And hello, TT. She's come to bless the reading. Whenever I see Medusa, of course, we know this is, I don't know, what is she, a god? She's not a goddess, maybe a demigod, I don't know. But she's a creature, a being that is cursed to, whenever somebody looks at her, when she gazes at them and they gaze at her and they see her or they see her reflection or whatever, she turns them to stone. Okay, so she's doomed to this kind of very isolated and alienated, life. And traditionally in the mythology, which I really didn't know that much about it until, maybe 10 years ago or so. But she was a victim of abuse, which we know a lot of these Greek and Roman stories are, the women, even the goddesses, they are subject to mistreatment. Okay. So it is really, I see this energy and I understand the rage. I understand the anger, being cast out, the being othered for things that are completely out of your control. It is a horrific thing. And it happens. It happens to a lot of people. Now they don't have snakes on their head probably, but they're treated poorly by the community, by maybe their family, their friends, their loved ones, for circumstances that are out of their control. And this is where coping mechanisms and world beliefs and just behaviors and things get developed to manage through these painful circumstances, the painful parts of life, and it carries on. And so when I see this, I see that there's this feeling of somebody, if it's you or if it's somebody close to you, who has been through something traumatic. Now, I think it maybe was in the past, probably. And at times, I think that this person has a hard time managing how they speak to people, how they treat people, how they treat themselves, how they speak to themselves. There maybe is a movement towards anger at times and reactions that don't seem to match the level of what's going on, right? Overreacting, absolutely losing it, right? And I think that, especially if this is somebody who, if this is not you directly, I do think that this is somebody who you care about and you understand, you have this empathy for them. Okay, and I think that your relationship with them, although of course it needs to have boundaries, right? Your relationship with this person is very healing for them and for you. Okay, now if this is you, and I think a lot of us can relate to this archetype. I know that, I really can on a very deep level. I really do. And I think that you are in a period of your life where you are really treating yourself with a lot of love and kindness. My thoughts have been a lot lately with positive self-talk. Really actively trying to change the internal dialogue. And when those very harsh, it's verbally abusive the way that we talk to ourselves sometimes. You wouldn't say it to other people, right? You wouldn't say it to your child. You wouldn't say it to, your mother or your loved one or your spouse, hopefully. So when we catch ourselves talking to ourselves this way, that's really heartbreaking when you really look at it. And maybe to me, it's a little more so because I'm a sensitive person and I really don't react to tough love very well. I don't like that. I don't like being treated poorly to get me motivated to do something. I shut down, So when I do that to myself, it's soul crushing. And then you think about how many times do we say these things to ourselves? How many times a day and how many days of the week and how many months has this been going on? In years, in decades. And you think, my goodness, all of that time. And I'm sorry, the cat's over here licking herself. She's fully giving herself a bath in my arm right here. You can see the side of her right here. And she's really... Yeah, you're okay. But you think all of this time that I've spent treating myself this way. And then, and for me, I'm really trying to change the way I talk to myself. Change the way I think about, the things that I find fault in within myself. My weaknesses, whatever those things are. I'm not going to bully myself anymore. Okay, go on. Scoot. I love you. Goodbye. Okay. And I think that when we start to really become conscious of this and we start thinking about, the characters like this, very sympathetic characters ultimately. And I won't go into the details, but if you go and read some of the details of the story of Medusa. And you quickly see, like, this is somebody to empathize with, especially in our modern era here, right? The way that our society is kind of shifting. How we treat people who have been taken advantage of or abused or trafficked or, any of these things. And so, I think that there is really an energy of awareness in your life right now. And I think that, like I said, if this is somebody else in your life, you really are somebody that's important to them. And if this is you, of course, you are the most important person in your healing journey. And so maybe implementing small ways to, when you have the impulse to come down on yourself, maybe instead saying something loving to yourself. I know those kind of corny affirmations, but yeah, they are. You start reprogramming the way that you speak, not only to yourself, but to other people, but especially yourself. And you will begin to see a change in the way that you experience life. You start to see more opportunities than, everything kind of just being a curse. Why do I have to do this? Why is this my responsibility? Why do I have to, and you start to look at things and you think, I'm really good at these things. I enjoy some of this stuff. Some of it I don't, but, I'm thankful that I'm here. I'm awake today. I can, move around. I have the freedom to make choices for myself, and so on. These things that we take for granted. And that can change everything. That really, it does. Now, let's go. Let's turn this thing. I kind of stopped. Okay, so we have a person. What are they doing, really? What are you doing? So we have... Okay, so we have a person standing here. You can see their head, body, legs. And I'm looking over here. It looks like a mountain, but there's also a face in it. For some reason, it reminds me, if you know who this is, then you maybe know his art, but it reminds me of Austin Osman Spar, yeah. AOS, the good old AOS, and kind of almost an elemental being, right? A magician, an occultist. A bit of a libertine, I would say. Yeah, probably a libertine a little bit. So I see this and I'm looking and it I almost imagine somebody, I see a fiery mountain and I see a person. And actually, it kind of almost looks like a dragon as well. But I see this person over here really tending to this. And I feel like with that mixture of earth and fire, kind of the volcano, there is a sense of dealing with the deep rumblings beneath, right? That anger, that pain, that wound, that thing that really just sometimes feels like it's on the edge of exploding. And I feel like you have really actively tried to take care of this and temper those emotions. I wouldn't be surprised if you even have worked on some anger management. Okay. Which if you are, and if you have, Awesome. Congratulations. I think we all could use a little of that, right? I think it's not unlike just therapy. We all should use therapy if we can, if we have access to it. It is a privilege, of course. It's not easy. The access is like, you have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get there. But it's something that benefits everybody, So, any kind of learning to process or channel our anger into other things other than, just absolutely going off all the time. But I also see with the dragon and with that face that's in the mountain, I feel like there is a growing consciousness turning towards some deeper. I feel like it is a deeper sense of maybe even like tantric or movement of energy through the body. This could be yogic or the kind of the fires of the kundalini and I feel like maybe there is a sense of maybe a prominent desire or a prioritizing of desire, of lust, of passions and sensualities and things like this. And I feel like this is something that you don't always allow yourself to look at too much. Maybe not something you spend a lot of time with. It is kind of, something you care for, right? But it isn't necessarily always a focus, like a big focal point in your life. But I do think in this period of time, there is a sense of really allowing yourself to explore these parts of your being. And I feel like this is a place that feels quite safe. When we have the dragon, I think a lot of that sense of security. And I can feel that this is something that is personal to you. I don't think that this is necessarily a super overt thing, but I feel like you are kind of getting brave, right? And really, thinking, hey, I'm going to try some things. I'm going to see where this goes, kind of check in with myself, if you will. And I think that's a wonderful thing. And I think that this is something that could be, really interesting and fun and also, another place to help energies flow through. Getting rid of a lot of stagnant, base energies for sure. Now we have a 10, a 1, and a 0. Okay, and let's see, what else do we have? I'm looking for numbers and letters. We always have a couple at least. What do you think, TT? All right, so we have the 10, and now it's focusing on you, my girl. Well, I think that's really the only thing I'm super seeing stand out is the 10. And maybe an F, but it's backwards. And actually it looks like F-O, or maybe it looks like maybe T-E-T, tet. Maybe it's an O. Tito. TT. You're in the cup. All right, let's go ahead and look over here. Okay, Mama, let's get up here. I need to look over at this one. Oh, and this one actually looks like it says B-O-A, boa. But also we have an eye. We have an eye and we have a crab. Okay, so we have maybe some Cancer energy, or just kind of the attributes of the actual crab, being kind of shielded, but also deeply emotional, thoughtful, interior world. With the eye, I feel like there's a sense of somebody really kind of watching what you're doing. And I wonder if this is kind of in the work zone. Or maybe it's like I almost wonder if it's maybe like a romantic partner, but it feels like it's almost very business with them. So maybe like a spouse, I don't know. But I feel like there seems to be like a real like focus on what you're doing. So, I don't know what that's about exactly, but I feel like you feel kind of guarded about it. You like to you're in a place where you're like kind of having, your own revelations. You're really focused on working on these things that are coming up for you. And I almost wonder, like, if you just feel like kind of, this is my own thing. I want to have this for myself, and that would make sense. We all need that. We all need our own things, and personal space, and the ability to have our own private, privacy, even within our relationships and marriages and family relationships and things like this. Not everybody needs to know everything about us, and that's not something that everybody tells you. I mean, you have to kind of figure that out, and yeah. So anyways, I am a real big believer in doing the work without being witnessed. And of course, there are a lot of things that we share, and that's fine too. But hopefully having the space to do those things without feeling like, somebody's invading your privacy. Because, it really is truly just at that basic level, when something is witnessed, when, an outside force, is watching or witnessing something, it changes its behavior. And so, some of the work, and this is why it's so important within religious systems and occult systems, and the mysteries and things, that things are shrouded and kept personal. And there's that ever sign of the shh with the finger over the lips. It is it's only for the initiate, and the only person really initiated into your life is you. So, TT, I can't hold you and do the rest of this. I wanted to look at this too. We also have a 6 right here. We have a 6 on this one. And we have, where did it go? I was just looking at it. We have a 6 and a 1. Okay, so oh, TT. Oh, she just hooked me with her finger now. Her claw. Okay, so we have a 6, and then we have the 61. So that might be important as well. Okay, so maybe it's 661, or it's 61, and the 6 is just reiterated. I don't know for sure. All right, let's go ahead and look at these affirmation cards. she got me good right on the lip, that girl. Okay, let's see. Happier Me affirmation cards. And I'm just going to go ahead and flip through here. And it says, I choose to feel calm and relaxed right now. I don't feel calm and relaxed. I want to. I was feeling like it for a minute. Now my lips are bleeding. This is an excellent exercise of letting go. Put one hand on your heart and feel your heart beating. Your heart. I see. So there's some typos in these cards. It's put one hand on your heart and feel your heart beating, or it could be your heart. Take 3 deep breaths and slowly come back to your normal breathing. While doing so, just let go. All right. Yes, I want to look at the next one. I haven't seen this one. Oh, here we go. It says, I am open to love. Love yourself and you will be the light that others are drawn to. Yeah. Yes. All right, I'm going to go clean myself up. This cat mangled me. She said, I'm not going to get down, and she mangled me lip. Oh, my goodness. Well, and here you come again, huh? That wasn't very nice. Did you come to say sorry? That's all right. I still love you so much. Well, Libra, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. Tell TT she was naughty. No, she's a good girl. She just gets too lovey. Just a little too much lovey. And anyways, I read them all, and they mean a lot to me, and I would love to hear from you. I think, what is this, coming out on New Year's Eve? So, Happy New Year's, and be safe. Please take care of yourself. Take care of the people around you. We all have to watch out for one another, and enjoy yourself. Set your intentions. I love you. We will talk in the new year. And yeah. All right, Libra. Thank you. Goodbye.